Anna had always imagined that coming back to her childhood home would feel like stepping into something familiar and comforting. But the moment she crossed the threshold that evening, she sensed a quiet heaviness settling around her, as if the walls themselves were holding secrets, and as the sun slipped behind the trees and shadows stretched across the living room, she stood by the window, feeling like a visitor in a place that once defined her, realizing that time had altered more than furniture or routines. It had reshaped the fragile bond between her and her father, Rogov, who now moved through the house with a careful distance that unsettled her. Avoiding her gaze, filling the silence with small, unnecessary tasks, his warmth replaced by restraint that left Anna aching for the man who once filled every room with stories and laughter. And as she wandered through the house, touching old photographs, worn books, and familiar objects, she felt a painful dissonance between memory and reality. The house unchanged, yet emotionally distant, making her question whether she had changed too much or whether something unspoken had grown in her absence. And the memory of leaving for college returned vividly to her. Rogov's proud embrace and encouraging words now clashing with the guarded man before her, causing a restless ache that followed her into her untouched childhood bedroom, where sitting on the edge of the bed surrounded by relics of her younger self, she felt the loss of certainty and safety more sharply than ever. Realizing that returning home meant confronting not just physical space, but emotional distance. And as night deepened and silence amplified every unanswered question, Anna tried to speak, gently asking if everything was all right, only to receive polite reassurances that felt hollow, forcing her to accept that patience and understanding might be the only way forward. Yet sleep eluded her as the ticking clock echoed years gone by and her longing for clarity intensified. And when morning came with birdsong that contrasted the wait inside the house, she resolved to search for answers herself, exploring forgotten corners until she discovered a small wooden box hidden away, filled with letters that spoke of protection, fear, and sacrifices made in secrecy. Each word confirming that her father had carried burdens she had never known, and as she read the haunting line repeated through them, insisting she must never know the reason, a chill ran through her, igniting a determination that fear could no longer suppress, leading her to confront Rogov that evening, asking why he treated her like a stranger and why fear lingered in his eyes. And though his response spoke vaguely of parents hiding things to protect their children, his silence afterward revealed the depth of his struggle, leaving Anna torn between frustration and empathy as she clutched the letters that proved his distance was born of love rather than indifference. And over the following days, she observed him closely, noticing the careful pauses and guarded gestures that hinted at a life lived under invisible weight, until she uncovered more evidence of the lengths he had gone to ensure her safety, dissolving years of misunderstanding into tears of realization. And when she finally approached him again with steadier resolve, asking him to let her share the truth, Rogov's defenses faltered, his exhaustion and regret surfacing as he confessed that choices made long ago had placed danger near their family, and that his silence and distance had been shields forged to protect her innocence. And as he spoke of sleepless nights and sacrifices, Anna listened with a heart heavy yet open, understanding that the walls she had resented were built from fear of losing her, not lack of love. And reaching for his hand, she assured him that protection did not have to mean loneliness, that understanding could heal what secrecy had strained. And in that moment, as rain tapped softly against the windows, the house seemed to exhale, releasing years of tension, allowing father and daughter to sit together among scattered letters that now felt like bridges rather than barriers. And Anna realized that truth, though painful, had brought her closer to the man she loved, revealing a devotion deeper than she had ever imagined. And as they spoke quietly into the night, sharing memories and acknowledging wounds, she felt hope take root, knowing that rebuilding trust would take time, but that honesty had opened a path forward, transforming the house, once heavy with silence, into a place of possibility. And by the time they finally rose to rest, Anna felt a peace she had not known in years, understanding that love sometimes hides behind difficult choices. That courage lies in facing the past together, and that home is not defined by perfection, but by the willingness to heal, forgive, and move forward side by side.